Okay, hello guys, and welcome back to Youth Hub. Today we are going to be talking about a very important matter that troubles literally every single human being. So sometimes maybe you finish eating and you are supposed to wash your dish, like your plate, while you are done immediately. And instead of washing it, maybe you put it aside to be doing other things, and before you realize by the end of the day you haven't washed that plate. So this whole scenario I just described is procrastination. So what do you think procrastination is?
Okay, I think procrastination is basically postponing something that is supposed to be done now to a later time, which mostly actually affects us negatively. Yes.
So another scenario, I'll say maybe in school. So instead of us, focusing more on let me say prep, like prep time, instead of us, focusing on our studies and all of that, we'll be there and we'll be fooling. We talking about girls, especially in boys' school, talking about girls, talking about football. Yeah, as for football, they see that everybody's energy is so much invested into it during prep hours, time that you're supposed to be using to learn. You people say, oh, nah, don't worry, the exams later time. Don't worry.
Some of us even sing during these hours,
You see,
like when we are supposed to be studying,
hmm,
like evening prep when we're supposed to be studying. That's when the whole class decides to actually become an a cappella group.
you see.
Okay.
So yeah, all of this is procrastination. Procrastination doesn't necessarily have to be something extremely big, like a big job or something. Like it even affects the little things that we do. So basically, we all know that we are not supposed to procrastinate, but then we end up doing it. So why do you think we end up procrastinating?
Well, I feel like some people it's just laziness. I mean, for example, like the example you gave in the beginning, you said when you're supposed to be washing your plate right now, or even when you're supposed to be cooking at a particular time, then you just say, "Oh, I'll do it at 5 p.m. or I'll do it at 6 p.m." Then 6 p.m. comes and you're like, "Nah, I can wait a few hours more," and you just keep postponing the time you're supposed to be doing it. Meanwhile, you're supposed to actually be doing it at the particular time, like when you were done eating, you were supposed to have washed your plate immediately, but then you just kept postponing, postponing, postponing. For some people, they can even go days doing that, which is very bad because at the end of it, you're the one who's going to be affected. Yeah.
Okay, so procrastination, well, it's a habit that everybody has. Yeah. But then I feel we are supposed to be able to know how to manage all of that. So ways that we can use to manage procrastination is we should get that we'll do it at that instant attitude. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So immediately you find yourself in a place where you need to do something, you should be able to do it at that instant. You shouldn't be like, okay, let me wait a little. Like so immediately you are done eating, just instantly go and wash your plate and be free. So an assignment like this, one here especially assignments. I remember in JHS they can give us assignments, and instead of most of us doing our assignments, we wait for like we'll go home and we'll not even do our assignments. We'll come to school and then when the teacher is about to correct it, we see people
That's
copying
when we
from
are
everybody.
coming.
Yeah. So for me, how I was able to escape that whole situation was I realized that if I go home, when I go home, I'm not going to do the assignment. So immediately the teacher gives us the assignment, then I'll just do it instantly and place the book in my bag. I'll go home, I'll go and play. When I come back, I'm already done with it. So yeah, it was supposed to be like homework, but then I did it in school before I even went home. And that was how I was able to counteract with my procrastination. Over time, I was able to get better with it. And then, yeah. So, how did you prevent procrastination concerning
Okay.
your homework? Yeah.
Concerning my homework, well, for homeworks, it depends. Like sometimes I do it, like you said, I do it in school when immediately they give it to us. But there were times where the teachers actually found out that people would do their homeworks in school before going home to do it. So it made them like either give us more or you do it again, and then they'll make sure like at the close of the day they'll check it before you get home to make sure you've not done it in school.
Hey.
So yes, that's what because you're supposed to do it at home. Like it's a way to actually help you study. But here was the case where we were actually doing it in school, like a classwork. So they would actually give you another. But then one thing I did was I'd actually do it when I get home. Immediately I get home, like before I eat or anything, I'd do it immediately. Or I'd wait for the next. Okay, I actually procrastinated at that point.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it depends. It depended. Yeah.
So, how do you think procrastination is really affecting us, like the youth of today? How do you think it's really affecting us concerning
Hmm.
basically anything of your choosing you want to talk about?
Okay. For procrastination on the side of the youth, let's take education. So here's the case. Let's take the scenario. In school, at the end of every semester, we definitely write tests, we definitely write exams. So if you are if you are given, okay, for most schools, they actually have like a timetable to know when their exams are going to be held, when their tests are going to be held. For some, it's not really given until it's like a week before the exams. So if you keep procrastinating, if you're the type to keep procrastinating about studying, at the end of the day, I mean, let's say your exams is in like 3 months' time, and you feel like, oh, 3 months is a long time. I'm going to wait it out. I'll study when it's like a month to it. A month comes and you are still procrastinating that, oh, it's going to be a week later. Before you'd realize it, I mean, time flies. Before you realize it, exams is going to be here. Like exams is going to be, you are going to be in the exam week, and you realize that you have not studied anything just because you kept procrastinating. So in order to avoid that, it's better you just keep studying. That's why you cannot capture everything that you've studied or everything in your education, in your academics, within like 30 minutes or within an hour. It's going to be difficult because everything has just piled up for you. So it's better to just start as soon as possible, like immediately before the time actually comes. Yeah, so that's one thing I can say. Mm.
Okay, so I want to talk concerning maybe looking for a job or something. So there was this time, uh, some friends and I wanted to look for like work to do, like because we were on a long vacation. Instead of, okay, a friend actually got something to do, but then the others were like, okay, the vacation is extremely long. Don't worry, we'll be able to, push it like the time we start this work or whatever job it is that we wanted to do. We wait till like the last month so that we work for like 1 month and then yeah, that's it. So that's what was happening. And then he was the only one who was working. Yeah. And then the rest of us were like, okay, nah, don't worry, the vacation is very long. See, don't we shouldn't really stress ourselves. We just enjoy, lay back. So while we're doing all this enjoyment and laying back, somebody was actually doing something. He was making an impact in his life. He got work experience. Was able to make some money. And while he was doing all of that, he was also going for classes the same way we were all going for classes. So basically, in the end, we wasted our time. Yeah, and then he did something with his time. He was able. So while we're hanging out and everything, like his work didn't even interfere with his fun and everything because it was a part time something. So in the end, we all realized that we shouldn't have. So it was like, had I known, yeah, had I known, which was like, if we had known, we would have done something better. So procrastination led us to that point of us feeling bad about ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, that is something. Um, Procrastination is one thing that actually prevents us from achieving a lot in life. I mean, for example, someone wants to start a business, but then you'd say, "Oh, I'm going to start next week." "Oh, I'm going to start." Why not start now? Like it's better to start now than never. I mean, you do not know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what is going to happen to you tomorrow or even at the end of the day. So it's better to start now than to keep postponing with no effort, no thoughts, no, like you just keep postponing it. So that actually prevents us from achieving a lot in life, even as youth. Yeah.
Okay, so this quote was what actually helped me to overcome or to be better at not procrastinating. It was like the guy said something like, "Tomorrow is not guaranteed, so whatever you have to do, you have to do it now." And I don't know how this is affecting anybody hearing it, but then that really sunk in deep with me. I was like, "Wow, that's deep," and it's actually true because if you are supposed to do something today and you don't do it today, and then before I realize maybe it wasn't given to just you and it was given to like a group, and then the first person to have completed that was the one who was going to maybe win some money or get something. Yeah, and you waited till tomorrow. Somebody had already done it, and at that point you've lost. So the tomorrow that you were expecting was not guaranteed. So yeah.
So it's better to take a step now. One thing I've also realized is that you might be sitting, I mean, for example, I'm sitting here right now doing something. I mean, I'm recording a video. There's someone somewhere who is thinking about recording a video too, but the person hasn't started yet. The person is not putting in any effort. Okay, no, let me set an example. Um, let's say I realized that there are people in the world, actually there are lots of people that actually, I don't know if to say coincidentally, but we kind of have the same thoughts when it comes to certain things. I mean, I might be sitting here and I'm thinking, oh, I actually want to start a cooking show. There's someone somewhere else also thinking, oh, I want to start a cooking show. The person might have the same idea as you or a different one, but if the person has the same idea as the person actually starts what you were supposed to start now, instead of postponing, the person will get far with it and you might see it and be like, oh my god, I thought of this, I should have done it. Oh, but you kept postponing. So why not take a step now? I mean, you never know where it will lead you. So better to take a step now and yeah, achieve something.
Okay. So that's the end of today's video on procrastination. I'm sure there will be others. So make sure you comment.
Yeah, please comment
Please
in the
comment on this
comment
video.
section.
Everything you want to, say about procrastination, comment about it. Share the video. Share the video so that we help create awareness to, help people to stop procrastinating.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
please subscribe and turn on post
And
notifications to
like
be
the videos.
notified.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and
So
we'll
we'll
see
see
you
you
guys
guys on
in
the
the next
next video.